If you feel like you've been really busy lately, running around, feeling burnt out, and yet it seems like nothing is getting done, there's no progress, then number one, welcome to the club. Number two, this video is for you. So let's get into it. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is to stop saying yes to every opportunity that ever gets presented to you. You, like me, might have heard growing up that you should take all the opportunities you can get, do all that you can, experience everything. But that really is only beneficial to those who don't have specific goals or passions in mind already that they're working towards. And so they're still exploring. There isn't this sense of this is what I want to do and I need to make sure that my time is being allocated correctly to get those things. Their time is for exploring, and so saying yes to all opportunities and doing different things all the time is fulfilling that purpose. If you're someone who's always busy and yet at the end of the day or at the end of the week you're thinking, oh damn, I have not progressed in anything, then I'm going to assume that you have specific things in mind that you want to get done, meaning you already have a certain purpose, a certain passion, a certain goal. And for that reason, you need to become more selective. Of course, it doesn't mean that you say no to everything without evaluating how beneficial it can be in your life. But let's say someone asks you to help them manage or plan an event and you say yes without thinking because, hey, it's a nice experience, but you forget that if I say yes to this, then I won't have time to focus on my own stuff that I'm already falling behind on. Then that's when you gotta reevaluate how you're spending your time and what you say yes to. Shut up. Go away. Don't ruin my setup. Now, once you've removed the unnecessary commitments and become more selective with what you say yes to, you might still have a long list of projects, ideas, goals that you're working towards. If you're like me, you're probably trying to achieve all of them at the same time. You're multitasking, splitting your attention, trying to do everything at once, spreading yourself out thin. And this is what leads to number one, being burnt out, exhausted, and two, feeling like you're getting nowhere. Because think about it, if you spend a specific period of time working a little bit on each project and you have 5 in total, and at the end of that period of time you've got 10% of progress on each one, versus spending that same period of time focused on one project and having 50% progress in one, what's going to feel better? It's probably going to feel a lot better to see that you're halfway there, even if technically, if you were to combine all the progress over a few projects, you'd see that it's the exact same in theory, right? It's still going to be much more motivating to see a more obvious amount of progress in one area, and that motivation is going to keep you going. Whereas when you work so much and don't see any progress, there's a high chance that you're going to just give up and really fall off and not keep going. Motivation, I find, comes from really 3 main things. Number one, truly enjoying something. I play the guitar and I sing because I enjoy these things. It's not effort for me, and that can vary from person to person. Just like some people genuinely enjoy going to the gym. That's their fun, and so it doesn't take a whole lot of motivation for them to go regularly. So you've got the actual enjoyment of the tasks as it's happening. Then you have fear, which is consequences if you don't get this done, submitting something on time, your grades, your job. There's something on the line if you don't get this done. Even if it might be in the very last hour, you suddenly get that rush to do it, which is not ideal, but hey, it is what it is. The third one would be positive feedback. When you see that you're progressing, or people are recognizing that you're progressing as well, that reward motivates you to keep going, because you're like, oh, I'm here, like, let me keep doing this, let me keep going, let me finish this up. Now, of course, motivation fluctuates depending on different things, but you don't want to be basically setting yourself up to be demotivated by trying to do 5 big things at once and putting that as your priority, putting that importance high up there for all 5. On top of that, it takes mental energy to switch from one task to another. You have to get into a zone of, let's say, what they call the flow state or deep work. You usually need to get into this state of mind. To switch from one type of task to another takes energy. So why not save that energy and instead put it towards progressing further in that one task that you're currently prioritizing? And this makes it easier for you to make decisions on your day-to-day life. I'm not saying that you shouldn't have other things that you're working on at the same time, but you would consciously decide, okay, for this next week or for this next month, whatever timeline that you set, you're going to say the priority is this and this. So for me personally, I find that, hey, I have been prioritizing my music and performing and socializing for the last 6 months at least. I can afford to put that on lesser importance and instead say that my priority for the next month or two, whatever it is until I feel satisfied, to be YouTube and content creation. That way, it's easier for me to decide what I'm going to say yes to on a daily basis. Instead of getting overwhelmed by, oh, but I want to do this and I want to do that, I say, okay, put your high level, high energy time towards YouTube, towards creating videos. Once I've achieved the task for the day, whatever I've set for myself, whether it's to write one script, record one video, once that's done and out of the way, if I still have energy, okay, let's do something else. Let's work on something else. Let's write a song. It's just knowing that, okay, on a daily basis, what am I going to put first? If I'm presented with a choice, with a dilemma of like, I want to do this and I do this, which one should I do first? So that's what it helps to prioritize in that way. And personally, this has worked for me. First off, I don't feel as tired from my own choices in life. I'm being much more selective with what I do, and so I feel less guilt for being behind. Even if, let's say, I set a goal to post 2 videos this week instead of 1, but I end up still posting 1, but I know that I was actively working towards the goal with it being the first thing in my head, I don't feel guilty because, hey, I put in the effort. The output is the output. And I don't feel as mentally drained because, like I said, I'm not switching from one task to the other. I am putting my main focus on this one thing. So I truly, from someone who cannot stand the idea of waiting or putting a certain goal on the back burner, it will actually get you a lot further and make you feel a lot better to set one priority for a specific time, whether it's for the day, for specific days of the week, for a few weeks, for a few months, depending on your goals. You decide that, but set that goal and have that be your priority. Make your decisions for your day, for what you're going to do on your high energy times, high motivation times, to work towards that goal in whatever way that you can. Once you're satisfied, then you can say, okay, what are the other things that I also want to work on? And let's work on them if I have the remaining energy and motivation to do so.